Hello YouTube and welcome back to Fire Gaming Project. So in this short video, I'm going to be doing a review of Xingqiu, and the reason why is because he is currently featured on the current Zhongli and Ganyu banners. Now also featured are Yanfei and Beidou, and I've already done reviews for them in previously. So do check those videos out if you're interested. Those reviews haven't been updated because I haven't really used those characters since and haven't rebuilt them. But Xingqiu I've had for a while, but I just haven't done a review for him until now. So here we go. Alrighty, so he is absolutely the best 4-star Hydro support character in the game. Technically, he's the only one because the only other, and I did this earlier too, he's outside of the 5-star characters, he's the only other Hydro character aside from Barbara, who's the healer. Right, so unfortunately, they're going to need to rebalance Hydro by introducing way more characters, like what they just recently did with Geo. They introduced basically like a bunch of characters, right? 3, right? So they're going to have to rebalance Hydro as well, and that is something that we can look forward to. But at this point, as of the time of this video, he is the best Hydro support character, and also the only one. But he is very similar to Bennett. He is basically like up there, like an S tier, like support basically, or SS tier, S tier, however many tiers you want to talk about. Okay, so let's get to it. So I didn't finish fully like maximizing him yet because I actually don't use him that much because I do have Child, as you can see on the screen, and Child is one of my most beloved characters. It's also my avatar in the game, and also when I play things, it's yeah. So anyway, regardless of that though, Xingqiu is very useful for many people, and you should bring him up to level 90 if you can. Now I just left him at 87 and kind of just stopped there. I'm definitely able to bring him to 90, but I'm just not going to spend the resources on that right now because I don't use him. So here are his stats. Now, crit-wise, you don't really need it to be very high because he's a support character, a pure support character. Whereas other characters such as like Kazuha, etc., they could be like a sub DPS, so you would still want them to have some crit rate. But even then, Kazuha is more of an elemental mastery character now, so it depends, right? Depending on the type of character and their kit, etc. But Xingqiu, I don't use him more than for his E and his Q, his burst and his skill only, and then I swap him out right away because his rain sword stays on the screen for the next characters, so that's why he does not need to be on the field, and so his crit rate doesn't matter. This healing bonus is only because I have Child in this team, so that's why it's just adding that as an elemental resonance, so just pay no attention to that. Now, if you can get your energy recharge for Xingqiu as high as possible, and I mean high, like 200s or higher, like even 250s and higher if you can, that would be preferred because Xingqiu is very painful to use without energy recharge. I can tell you that right now. Hydro damage is a must. And let's get to it. So his best weapon is actually the Sacrificial Sword. There is no reason, I'll be honest, to give him any of the 5-star swords because they will be wasted on him. If you have to, you can consider the Skyward Blade because it's energy recharge substat and it is universal. But the Sacrificial is better for him because he can has a higher chance, 80% chance at R5 to proc his elemental skill twice, which means he can apply the water twice, which is good. Yeah. And then, like, honestly, you wouldn't use him for physical damage, you wouldn't use him for crit damage, crit rate. Elemental Mastery, when you wouldn't give him the Freedom Sworn, that would be better used for Kazuha, right? So there are all these things to consider, right? Energy Recharge, the Festering Desire, for those of you who are older players that have been around since 1.2, where you got this as a free event, weapon for Albeido's event back then this is okay, because it's elemental skill damage increase, right? But, and it's energy recharge substat. But again, not many newer players will have this, so I won't focus on that. Again, the Black Sword and the Black Cliff are crit rate and crit damage swords, respectively, so they're not suitable for him. Sacrificial Sword is his best, and I think many people would agree. The Flute is okay, but it's more of like a placeholder weapon. Prototype is not necessarily for him because it's more on an attacker physical damage weapon. Favonius has energy recharge on it, and in fact, this has higher, when it's leveled up, of course, would have higher energy recharge than Sacrificial, but Sacrificial allows him to proc his skill twice. And remember, he's more of a character that you quick swap in and out, so it's better to proc his skill twice, swap him out, and then when its cooldown is done, and then you want to bring him back out again, you can do it again, right? Whereas this one is really just to try to get energy for himself and get more energy for the team. So generate more, generate more on-screen particles. Yeah, so then technically if you swap them out, you can give them to the team. The Amanoma also has a energy recharge passive, and this is okay too. But again, Sacrificial is his best. Now, the Lion's Roar won't apply to him, so I'll skip this, and that's that. Alrighty. So artifact-wise, you could give him a 4-piece Heart of the Depth if you want to focus on the hydro damage aspect of it, but you're not going to need to, and his best thing is his burst. Honestly, it is. And you want some hydro damage bonus if you can, or you can just do a 4-piece Noblesse and just use him as a support character, complete support, and just support the rest of the team, and that's okay too. But I guess now that we're in the later stages of the game's release, let's say, even if you're not a late stage player, with the newer artifacts domains out there, you may not be farming the Noblesse domain anymore. You may be farming like maybe the Hydro one, or maybe like Emblem of Severed Fate, or other things like that. So Emblem of Severed Fate is very much similar to Noblesse, and I actually feel that if you wanted to rebuild him, and if I wanted to as well, I could easily give him a 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate, because the 2-piece set gives him the energy recharge bonus, which he heavily needs, and the 4-piece set would also be good for him because, let me just go to some character that has a 4-piece set. Yeah, because it would increase the elemental burst damage based off of his energy recharge, and then it's it's stackable, etc. So that's why, as I don't remember everything by heart, so it's just showing that on the screen. But anyway, I built him using this, and I haven't really used him that much, so that's why I left him on these old pieces. So let's take a look. So I gave him, obviously, the 2-piece Noblesse to give the elemental burst damage a go, so I'm going with Noblesse. And then Heart of the Depth, because I did have those pieces. I left his pieces mostly at 16, as you can see on the screen, because he is a support character, and I don't really use him that much. This was just for the Hydro piece, so this is his off piece. I wouldn't recommend going to the Retracing Bolide domain anymore, unless you're going there for the Archaic Petra for other Geo characters. But this is just a leftover piece that I had from way back then, and I just left it, gave it to him. And then this is a leftover piece. These ones that are 20 were left over from another character that I passed them down to him. So he inherited them from possibly like Mona or a child, etc. So that's why he has some of the 20 pieces. And this may have come from another character that had this and then doesn't need it anymore, because maybe I switched them out to an element, to the Emblem of Severed Fate, which has a very similar situation to Noblesse, but yeah. Anyway, constellation-wise, so because he's a 4-star character, and if you've been playing the game long enough and pulling on enough banners, you'll eventually get him to C6, hopefully. This one will increase the maximum number of rain swords, and basically that just means more damage. This one will extend the duration of the rain cutter, and decreases the hydro resistance of the opponents. This one's +3 levels for the rain cutter. This one increases the duration of the rain cutter, and the damage dealt is increased for the fatal rain screen as well. So the rain screen is his E, and the rain cutter is his Q, his burst. Okay, just so we're clear. And then this one will give him the extra 3 levels for the rain screen, which is the elemental skill E, and C6 is to activate the rain cutter's sword rain attacks. Will greatly enhance the third sword's rain attack, basically. Activating 2 of them will enhance the third one. And on hit the third one will attack, also regenerates more energy for Xingqiu. Alrighty, talents. So technically you can skip all of the normal attack, but I did bring him up to 6. This is +1 level because Child is on this team and he gives 1 level. I did bring him up to level 9 here, though, for these two, because ideally you should bring them up as high as possible. You may even consider crowning them, and that's okay, too. The majority of his damage will come from his Q, so you should focus on his Q, his burst, more than his elemental skill, but both of them are good. This one, whenever a rain sword is shattered, he will heal a little bit of HP, but he's not really a healer, but you could technically build him that way if you wanted to, but he's not really a healer. Excuse me, I was just coughing off screen. Okay, so then this one will give him extra hydro damage bonus, which is very good. And then this one will give him a crafting bonus, where he will refund a portion of the materials. So let's get to it, shall we? Oh, and you'll also see that I have teamed up here with Hu Tao, because ideally they are a very good duo together. Another character that would do well with him could be basically any of the other Pyro characters would do well, but he is basically similar to a Toma, or you can reverse it, say Toma is very similar to him in the way that they react. So let's just use him to build up his Q first. I'm trying to get some energy back. So I was able to proc that twice, so that's good. Okay. And I will quickly just do this so that I could... Well, basically, hang on, let's just try to do it with him. Yeah, the point of that is, so I want to do it so that like it's her, and then like yeah, so then because of the reaction, I just want to show like how it works. Now the camera angle wasn't like the best, but anyway, long story short, like you want to like um put it with her because then you can do, if you have her, right, you can do the reactions with that. So actually this was really quick, so I'm gonna actually just for the kick of it, I'm gonna go and kill the other flower as well. Yeah, just because this ended up being really quick. I mean, definitely I'm trying to keep my videos short, but then like I don't mind like doing one more with this because I wanted to like showcase it better, so let's just do that. This will only take a few moments really. Okay, I'm just doing this for the shielding. I'm just trying to quickly do this to get his E back up. That was pretty fast. Yeah, so that's good. I'm gonna do this. Okay. Do this to break the shield first. Okay. Perfect. I'm gonna wait just one moment. Okay. And then like we're gonna do this. Oh well, it's actually almost dead already because of Hu Tao. So anyway, anyway, I'll just stop there. I'm not gonna try it again. But anyway, long story short, like if you do his Q here, right, and then you swap out to her, and then you do her burst, right, then like she'll shoot them out, and then it will give the vape damage, right? Anyway, and then let me just quickly say, other characters that can do it well with Xingqiu could easily be like Yoimiya. It could be if you're using like maybe Yanfei or like even like let's say maybe Shangling. You can or Diluc, right? You can technically team it up. You can even do freeze with it because obviously it could. So you can do it with like Ayaka, Ganyu. I'm gonna try to talk about some 4-star characters. So like Kaya would be one, right? Chongyun. Like it would be very universal, basically. So he's like an S tier character. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to showcase those, of course, but I'm just going to talk about it. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and please do check out my other videos as well. Please leave a thumbs up and hit the subscribe, and also feel free to leave me comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. We'll see you there.